Hi there. All right, here I am in my kitchen again on this cold wintry day. I'm inside where it's nice and cozy and warm and toasty, and of course I'm inspired to cook. So this is my dinner tonight. And what am I gonna have? I'm gonna make and show you how to make a very simple dish. Pan seared scallops with orange butter sauce. So this is not for vegans, although the butter I'm going to use is clarified butter, but butter nonetheless. So let me take you over to the counter here where I have my mise en place. And once again, what is mise en place? Mise en place means I have all my ingredients in place. So let me show you first. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm also going to make, I've already made quinoa. I have a combination of white and red quinoa. And so that's going to be on the side of my scallops, pan-seared scallops. And what did I use for the quinoa? I'll show you right here. I used two different types. I used, I'm going to angle this a little bit more. I used the Trader Joe's red organic quinoa, okay? And then I mixed it with some white, what is it, by Village Harvest quinoa, also organic. And I want to say that people think quinoa is a grain. It isn't a grain. It is actually a seed, and it comes from the same family as beets, chard, and spinach. So I didn't realize that. I also thought it was a grain because on the package it says whole grain. It's like, wait a minute, hello, maybe like whole seed. But nonetheless, high in protein, high in healthy fats, and a couple other goodies. But anyway, I wanted to say that when you look at recipes like this, they just tell you to add water, to cook it in water. I think that's pretty boring, and it tastes really boring, dull. I like flavor in my food. So what I've done is I've cooked my quinoa in some organic vegetable broth in place of water. So this particular recipe called for 1.5 to 2 cups of water. So instead of plain water, I added, organic vegetable broth. And then, and if you're, carnivore, you can add bone broth or chicken broth. But the point is it actually makes it more flavorful. And then instead of just adding water, I also added probably about a tablespoon of ghee, clarified butter. And you can get that at any good health food store. Or you can add regular butter. And then I also added some organic fine herbs. Yeah, some organic fine herb seasonings. Or herbe de Provence would be another name for that. So anyway, and here is my quinoa. It's already cooked because I wanted to have it prepped and ready so the video is not so damn long. But anyway, here it is. See how fluffy and yummy that looks? Now, I don't know how much you can see, but you'll see it when I plate it. So the quinoa is already done, and those are the ingredients I used to make it. So let me just put those aside. Come back here. So what else do I have? I have the rest of my ingredients. I have my my scallops. See this scallops? The scallops that I took out from the bag, and I thawed them out earlier. These scallops are wild caught. They're from Costco. I'll show you. They're actually really a really great deal. They're grade A, Costco. See that? Sea scallops, and they're really wonderful. This is 2 pounds, and I think I paid like $30, so that's pretty good. So those are in the freezer. I took them out earlier and I thawed them out, and then I took them and I put them on a paper towel and I patted them dry, and then I put them back in here just for safekeeping. And then I have, of course, my ghee, because that's what I'm going to cook my pan-seared scallops in. I'm going to actually turn on the heat, and I'm going to turn it on medium high because I want to sear them. Oops, sorry about that. Camera angle there. Like I said, sometimes it's a challenge to multitask in the kitchen, prep, cook, slice, chop, and then hold the camera and cook at the same time. So anyway, I'm going to pan sear them with the ghee, the clarified butter, because on a medium-high heat, because ghee has a very high smoke point. because you want to get the heat up really high, but if you put an oil that doesn't have a high smoke point, then it'll get really smoky and it'll smell and burn and yicky, smelly all over the place. So anyway, and then I have, what else? If my daughter's watching this, please don't be hating. She's a sommelier, and she's an amazing wine connoisseur. I didn't have an organic bottle of dry white wine, and so I just went and got a little cheesy bottle of dry white wine. It's a Pinot Grigio, or you can use a Sauvignon Blanc or Sauv Blanc. You want a dry white wine. And then I have, of course, my salt and pepper. And then I'm going to also sprinkle some organic Bragg's herb spices, okay, just to have a little different flavor. And then in here I have 3 tablespoons of my fresh squeezed orange juice. I used my little hand juicer to juice that earlier before the camera got rolling. And then I have some fresh little orange segments here. See those orange segments? Because those are going to be part of the decoration. The topping. And then I have some organic chives, okay? Chives, I always thought chives and green onions were the same. But anyway, they're like tiny little skinny green onions, right? But what I did is I took them and I, once again, I prepped and I made little teeny tiny dices. Or actually, yeah, small slices, I should say. So those are going to go on top. So those are all my ingredients. All right, so the pan's heating up. It's probably going to start smoking in a minute. And I don't know, I'm going to put about maybe a tablespoon. See, I didn't even measure it out with my, what are they called? Tablespoon measuring devices. And then let me just hold on here for 1 second. I'm going to angle the camera so you can see. So I'm just going to take that ghee and I'm going to dump it in like that. And it's going to start, don't worry, my fingers are clean, my hands are clean. It's going to start melting really quickly here because the heat's pretty high. And then let me get a paper towel because I like to have one to wipe my hands every once in a while. Actually, I have this, my little trusty little wet towel that I always use. So, what else? All right, so see that? That's starting to melt really nicely. Then I'm going to swirl it around a little bit. Now, the key, I'm going to let it get a little hotter. The key to cooking scallops is you don't ever want to overcook them. You don't want to overcook anything. But specifically the scallops, because they're meaty, they have a succulent sweetness about them. And if you overcook them, they're going to turn rubbery and dried out. So you don't want to overcook them. So we'll make it really quick. Okay, so I'm going to pan sear them really quickly here. Let's put this over so you can get a little angle there. And then I'm going to use my fingers, and I may not do all of them for time purposes, but I'm going to use my fingers, and I'm going to, let's see, there's this little piece here, see that little attachment? It's called like the foot, whatever. Some recipes ask you to pull it off. You don't have to. I mean, I eat them. See, there's an attachment right, it's hard to see. Yeah, that little piece right there. So I'm going to leave it on. You want to take it off, you take it off. Have at it, brothers and sisters. So anyway, really quickly here. Yeah, there it goes. Thank goodness for long sleeves. Ooh, so that's popping up. There's a little bit of moisture on these. So they are splattering a little bit of oil. And that's why I'm always wearing long sleeves in here when I'm working with hot oil. Because it pops out hot oil. And it doesn't really feel so good. So I'm going to put about 6 in here for now. I'll cook the rest later. Give me 1 second. I'll cook the rest later off camera because I don't want it to, I don't need to cook all of them right now. This is actually my dinner for tonight. But I'll cook the rest later and then I'll have leftovers for breakfast. Yeah. So let's just kind of wash those for a little bit. And you wanna cook them sear them on like medium high heat. So I'm checking the heat again because you want the medium high heat like this is gonna sear the outside. Okay, it's gonna sear the outside and make them crunchy and crusty and very beautiful. They don't take long to cook. All right, so see that? I'm gonna start flipping them over. Oh yeah, beautiful. Could probably leave them maybe a little longer. Not much longer. But anyway, I wanted to say that scallops are very sweet and delicious as far as I'm concerned. They are very high in protein. High in protein. They also contain if you're wondering why I'm yelling, is because it's so splatty. I want you to hear me over the splatting sound. Anyway, they contain magnesium and potassium, so they're very good for the heart and also lowering blood pressure. It's nice to eat something that lowers blood pressure. Look how beautiful those are. See, now I'm going to add a little bit of cracked pepper, barely, just a smidgen of cracked pepper. And then a little bit of salt. And my favorite little sprinkle of these wonderful herbs here. Actually, I'm going to do those in a minute. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them and I'm going to get them out of here. And the reason why is because they're going to keep cooking. So I'm going to just stick them here and let them continue to cook. Right? Remember? They will keep cooking even though they're not in the pan. That's why you want to take them out. And you don't want to crowd them, because if you crowd them, then they're going to get like soft and mushy. But look at how beautiful that is. See how gorgeous? A little crispy outer layer there. All right, so now those are done. Put this aside here. I'm going to add the spice now. I didn't want to add it there because I felt that they would have kind of burned the herbs, the spices, herbs that I'm putting on them. They would have burned just a little bit, not a whole lot. All right, so what's the next step? The next step is to turn it down to medium, my pan. I put it on low, but I'm going to put it probably right about there on medium. And then I'm going to add, it says 2 tablespoons of wine, but we'll see. We'll see if I feel that's enough. And like I said, the neat thing about being in the kitchen and you can do your own thing. If you feel that you want more, add a little more. This isn't baking. Ooh, now that's going to splat a little bit. So I want to be careful. I'm going to turn down just for a second. Probably what I should have done is measured this out in another measuring cup first. And then add, okay, very gently. 1. Oh, wow. There you go. You saw it here. I backed off for a little bit. I knew that was going to happen. I've been in the kitchen long enough. So, man, my camera's getting all splatted with this oil. I added 3. Okay, so that's it. There's a dry white wine. And then it just says to cook for 60 seconds. So I'm going to use my little whisk here and just blend it around a little bit. Okay, now, wow, what a mess this is. There's a bunch of oil all over the place. Can you see all that oil? Look at all that. Ah! I get to clean that up later. Anyway, it'll be worth it. All right, so now I'm going to add, instead of butter, I'm going to add some ghee, okay? Because I don't have regular butter. So let me just add 1, 2, let's see, yeah, maybe 2, I don't know, yeah, 2, 1 butter. How much do I want? I think about, yeah, just a little over 1. Okay, so a little over a tablespoon, a little more than a tablespoon. Okay, now I'm going to mix that. Okay, see that? So you want to blend it. I like to use a whisk. It's a nice way to blend it. Remember, this is how we're making the orange sauce. So whisking it up a little bit. And then I'm going to add my fresh squeezed orange juice. So that's right here. I'm just going to pour it in. I already pre-measured it. Wow, my camera's all splatted. I'll turn it up on medium. There. Put that aside. And I'm going to continue to whisk, checking the temperature or the heat there. It's on medium. Whisking it up a little bit. Swirling. It's going to start to thicken a little bit because of the butter that I put in there. All right, now while that's thickening up a little bit, I'm going to get my plate ready. In a second anyway. So let's just leave that there, let that thicken up. So, remember that quinoa? I took a fork after it was done and I fluffed it with a fork, okay? So let me show you what that looks like, just in case you're curious about fluffing. It has a whole different meaning when you're watching. Oh, never mind. So here's how you fluff it. You just take the fork and you fluff it gently, kind of tossing it lightly from underneath. That's how you fluff it up. Because if not, it gets pretty thick. That's really good. Everything's really good I make. That's my experience anyway. All right, so I'm just going to take a spoon of this. Let's see, here's a spoon. And I'm going to put a little bit right here off to the side. Let me show you what that looks like. See? Just a little spoon right there off to the side. Maybe a dash more. Not too much. I'm going to turn this down. Then I'm going to bring the camera back over here. So see, I'm getting that ready. Now what else am I going to do? I'm actually going to bring my my other scallops, and I'm going to turn the camera around here. There we go. I'm going to finish plating. But let me turn this on low. Bear with me. So, remember these beautiful scallops? Well, I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use my hands. So, put some right here, right around the plate. I don't want to put them on top. I'm just going to kind of place them around. Oh, and there's a luscious sauce right there. I'm going to actually just pour that over the quinoa. That's going to be delicious. I know it is. That extra flavor, the sweet scallop sauce in there. Okay, so now those are plated. Let's go back here. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk this around a little bit more. It's thickening. See how nice and thick it's getting? Okay, it's almost done. I tell you what, I just turned off the heat, and the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my my little segments. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Totally forgot. I have these, in addition to the orange juice, I had these little tiny Satsuma tangerines. See the Satsuma tangerines? I don't know, this lighting pretty much sucks. Well, you know why? It's because I'm doing it at nighttime. Anyway, so I cut these little segments up, and I'm going to add them in here. Okay? So the segments right there. And then, here are those little chives, remember? Remember the chives? Let's see, there you go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to save a few for the top. So then I'm just going to just do a gentle stir. Look at that. Just to warm up the segments of the orange. Oh, yeah, that smells great. Let me taste it. I want to taste it for salt. So all I'm going to do is get the spoon, because I don't think I put any salt in, not in the sauce. Sauce probably doesn't really need sauce or salt. Just let me do a little taste here. Okay, I'm going to crack just a little bit of, grind a little bit of salt in there. Just a smidgen. So, there you have it, brothers and sisters. A very gentle, delicate. You don't want anything really heavy because scallops themselves are delicate. So let me show you here what I'm going to do next. as I angle the camera back over here. Remember the scallops I started plating? I'm not done yet. So, let's do this. Maybe right about here. So I'm going to take a little bit of this sauce. Now remember, this is a very simple butter, white wine, orange juice, and orange segment sauce. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, put some around in between some of the scallops as well. And I don't want to leave anything behind because I'm sure it's going to be delicious. And then I'm going to put some on top. Almost done here. Probably the quickest video I ever made. But for the Irish coffee video I made a couple months ago over the holidays. So there. All right. And then one last thing. Little bit of fresh ones. Right there. A little bit of fresh chives. All right. Wow. Oh my God, that's amazing. It was only 21 minutes to this point. Hallelujah, brothers and sisters. Okay, so here we have it. Like I said, this is nighttime here. The lighting's not very good, so let me turn on another light while you kind of check that out and wonder what it tastes like. All right. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. Not quite. I'm going to take it back over here to the stove area. There's more light. No? Maybe right about there. Well, anyway, let's try it here. There, that's better. For some reason, right about there. Okay, so there you have it. Homemade. That cooked up in less than 20 minutes. Of course, I had my prep work done before. My ingredients were all ready. Quinoa, organic quinoa, red and white quinoa. Beautiful sea scallops. And a homemade orange, white wine, and butter sauce. So you know what's going to happen. I get to taste it. I don't even know where to start. It looks so good. All right, what the hell? Let's just do this. I'll cut a little piece here. Right here. Actually, you know what? I would like to use a spoon. And the reason why is because I don't want to miss any of this. Okay? So here's a little bit of the beautiful sauce there. And then one of the scallops. Thank you, seafood spirits. Thank you, Great Spirit, for this beautiful food. Look at that. Look at how tender those scallops are in the middle. All right, ready? Here goes. I don't know what to say. Sometimes there are just no words. Actually, I will say, I feel it's delicious. It tastes delicious. One last bite of the scallops and orange sauce. Wow. It's pretty amazing because the scallops are seared perfectly on one side. You know, they're crusty and crunchy and succulent on the inside and tender. So it's a beautiful contrast. And here's my quinoa. Okay, ancient grain, healthy protein, high in protein, healthy fat. So, there you have it, brothers and sisters. Our dinner tonight with the Holy Trinity, me, myself, and I. Nice. Anyway, if you like this video, please share with others. Sea scallops with orange, butter orange, white wine sauce, and organic quinoa. Stay tuned for more. I love sharing with y'all. And if you love these videos, please share them with others. Until we meet again, adios. Namaste, brothers and sisters. Namaste.